Riley Reynolds, Chronicles of Liberty, in studio with Jason Bunderson and Josh Burnett. Again, following up our previous video. We just had a resident come in the house as we're sitting around on the couch talking about the various things we want the community to know. And he asked a simple question, well, why do you guys want to be the sheriff? And what would you do in this situation? And so as we look at this, Franklin County, I think a lot of us are a little nervous and a little hesitant to approach law enforcement officers. And that should not be the case. We should have a very good relationship, especially with our sheriff's department. We shouldn't be afraid to see them, wave to them, talk to them. They should be our friends as the guardians of our liberties. We want to make sure that the Franklin County citizens are very comfortable with the sheriff's department and recognize they're here to protect and preserve your liberties. So, Jason, as you're kind of thinking about all of this, tell us some of your thoughts.
Yeah, I think there's a huge disconnect between the law enforcement and the citizens. Probably 2 years ago, there was a situation out in my neighborhood where my neighbors were abused horribly by the local PD and the sheriff's department. There was several from both departments out to their place. And it was really heartbreaking, especially for my neighbor and for myself. And so I think it is very important that the citizens know that we are your friend. Josh and I are basically coming out of retirement to do this because we love Franklin County. We love the citizens of Franklin County. And we want to serve and protect you and your constitutional rights.
That's great. Josh, you've got a young family, wife here in the community. Tell us some of your thoughts.
First off, we have to recognize that there is a problem. We have to see that there's something that needs to be fixed, and that maybe the people who have been creating the problem for the past 25, 30 years aren't going to be the ones to fix it. And this isn't necessarily what I expected to do when I moved out here, but I see it as absolutely necessary, and as what I'm willing to sacrifice my time to be able to do, is to make our county safe for the citizens, safe for people to express themselves, safe for people to express their fundamental rights. It's something that needs to be safe here.
Okay, great. And as we look at that, right, our First Amendment rights, our Second Amendment rights, our Third and Fourth Amendment rights, we've got to preserve all of them, right? We want to be able to express ourselves, and I want the sheriff's department constitutional to make sure that you're protected, whether it's from domestic enemies or foreign enemies. And unless you're sleeping under a rock, you guys got to recognize that we've got issues coming from the southern border. There's no question. We've got to have a sheriff's department that's prepared and ready for that. And as I was just watching the deal in Montana where the M13 gangs are just taking over the reservations up there. And there's so many problems coming our way. And we've got to ensure that the citizens are ready and prepared by having confidence and trust in the sheriff's department that can protect the citizenry of this county. Anybody got any other comments they want to make?
You can ask yourself, when you look at our law enforcement officers, do they look prepared? Do they look prepared to defend your rights? Do they set a good example? How do you feel about them? It's like we see there's going to be problems. There's problems coming across our southern borders, problems coming across our northern border. Are we ready for those problems? Does our law enforcement have a plan? Do they have the training at all capable of dealing with any kind of problems that come across there? Or are they going to run and hide and protect themselves? Do they have, if an active school shooter happens, are they in any way capable of protecting your children? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's great comments.
Yeah, I've heard from several moms that have children in school that they are absolutely terrified to send their kids to school, and wondering if there is a plan in effect that will protect their children. And we shouldn't be living like that. I mean, they should have total confidence in the sheriff's department and the police department that there is a plan, and that, like Josh said, that they are trained and that they can actually execute the plan to the best of their ability, and that they will, they will sacrifice their life and anything that they have to do to protect the citizens of this county.
Great.
And it's a fine line. So we look at how many police departments nowadays are being militarized. They're driving around in MRAPs. You saw it during COVID. Big, heavy armored vehicles pull up to bars to arrest people. It's like, that's not the direction we should be going. Like we've been saying, we need to be friendly, approachable, and know that we are the guardians of the citizens' liberty, but we are also extremely highly trained individuals to be able to carry out those responsibilities in protecting your life, liberty, and happiness. And I think we're capable, and we're like, we have the capability to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And as we look at all of this, this just lends to the realities that we're facing in 2024. And I just want to say again, Franklin County, we've got to be ready for what's coming, and that's going to require a new sheriff's department that is for the people and of the people. Signing off. Great stuff.